Hello and welcome to RTO Doctor's 30 Days, 30 Tips. Again, I'm not sure what episode we're up to, but I know we're nowhere near 30 yet. Tonight, I really wanted to talk to you about something that I found by pure coincidence on the internet the other day. I was very surprised to find it. I think it's all been done very, very quietly, and I wonder if anybody else has seen it either. It actually has a pretty critical impact on the international education sector. So if you know anybody who is a CRICOS provider or seeking to become a CRICOS provider anytime soon, you really want to make sure that you point out this message to them, or at least provide them with the feedback document. I'm going to put the consultation document, the cost recovery impact statement and consultation feedback form links in the comments for you. But I really, really wanted to just point out to you that the consultation period actually ends in 12 days' time. Can you believe that? 12 days. So the feedback on the exposure draft of the cost recovery impact statement is due by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, 23 August 2021. Now, it's really important that you listen to what I've got to say here. I'm actually going to read most of what I've got to say in case I get anything wrong, because the message is so critical. Again, the cost recovery impact statement is talking about full fee recovery and reinforcing that this decision was made in the 2021 to 2022 budget. The expectation is that these charges will be implemented from 1 January 2022. Now, my question to you is that not another kick in the guts for a sector that's already on its knees? The international borders are still not going to be open, and they're not even talking about opening them anytime soon. But here we are talking about full cost recovery for CRICOS providers from the 1st of January 2022. Now, the decision may have been made in the 2021-2022 budget, but at that particular time when that budget was being written, there was no suggestion that the global COVID pandemic would still be in our midst and all of our borders, both domestic and international, would still be closed and not even looking like opening before 2022. And yet here they are wanting to put in full cost recovery for CRICOS providers from the 1st of January 2022. Are they aware that half the country is still in lockdown and desperately trying to stay afloat? Just who do they consult on these policy matters? Where is ITECA on this? Where is TAFE Directors Australia? Where are all these national peak bodies that are supposed to represent our sector? And just who is the government consulting on such policy madness? Who would even contemplate bringing in full fee cost recovery for CRICOS providers on the 1st of January 2022 when the international borders are still closed and we can't even get international students on shore? Who would even think about that? In 21 to 22, the regulatory cost of the CRICOS program, they allege, is $4,043,000, of which $3.527 million is subject to cost recovery. That means that only $516,000 maximum will be paid by the government for administrative support activities that the department believes are unreasonable to pass on. This is the same government that refuses to open our borders. So they're going to be making you pay CRICOS providers up to $3.5 million from the 1st of January to run a CRICOS program with your borders closed. How does that even happen? While we all sit here trying to keep our businesses open when the sector is slowly dying because of the consequences of borders opening, closing, and the international borders being closed for a significant period with no real commitment from the government, they're also going to give themselves a nice little pay rise, apparently. The department has assumed that staff salaries will increase at 1.5% per annum, reflecting the ABS's wage price index. Now, we've got staff across the country in CRICOS providers and domestic providers who can't even keep their ordinary staff employed because the borders are shut. And here they are as a part of your full cost recovery commencing on the 1st of January 2022. They're going to give themselves a nice little pay increase with that as well. Question 8 asks what consultation has occurred with payers and other stakeholders about the proposed cost recovery. They say that we've been consulted and significant issues were raised. I'll bet there were significant issues raised, and I'll bet that there still are now. The final supporting analysis states, this is a low-value cost recovery arrangement, but there will be policy, structural, and legislative changes to the CRICOS program. Really? Don't you think we should see what those changes are going to be first and when the borders are going to open before they even implement a full cost recovery program for CRICOS providers around the country? Objections are required before the 23rd of August. That's next Monday week, I believe. You will need to complete this form here. Feedback on exposure draft of CRIS for the revised CRICOS charges. And I'm guessing that, like me, you will want to tick, I do not consent to this submission being published on the DESC. And I would also be saying, I do not consent to these changes being made. Unbelievable that the Commonwealth Government can possibly be contemplating full cost recovery when our international borders are closed. We can't get international students into the country, and here they are wanting to increase our fees and charges. Granted, there was a period of time where they haven't charged anything. So does that mean they go from charging nothing and understanding the situation to, in 4 months' time, charging you full cost recovery and giving themselves a nice little pay rise in the meantime? I don't think so. Enough is enough. Make sure you're heard on this one. Pass this message around. Get the consultation document out to as many people as you can possibly think of, because this is not okay. It's not okay that CRICOS providers are kicked in the guts once more and required to pay full fee cost recovery from the 1st of January 2022, when our borders are still closed. There's not even a discussion happening about when they're going to open again. I'll put all the document links in the comments, and I hope that you'll pass this on to as many people as possible. I look forward to comments in comments as well. I'd like to see a discussion happen about this. Good night, and thanks. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.